And it's of astonishment to Paul in Lincoln that he finds himself agreeing with reform. Tom, I don't believe I do this. Blimey, I never thought I would. By the way, the Chinese steel is rubbish. I've seen its use and it fails miserably. But, Paul, it's cheap. So what we're saying here is the government is about to take over the running of a business that's losing nearly £750,000 a day in order to use that steel to build stuff that the companies that are paying to have those things built don't want. The Prime Minister can't get Universal to agree to build the roller coasters with it. Good luck getting other companies who are investing in Britain to build things to agree to build it. Or maybe you think it should be a precondition of investment here. If you're going to build something in Britain, hi, welcome. We'd like to welcome you into Britain. If you'd like to build something here, you're going to have to use these people, okay? These people are state-owned steel. It's really good stuff. You'll enjoy it, but the only way in which you're going to be able to build whatever you want to build is with this product. And it costs, yes, it costs more than the Chinese steel. Yes, it costs more because it's a much better product. Thank you very much. You can come in. Is that how we're going to do business now? Because that's very different from what went before. It might deter investment, but it'll keep those jobs going. 0345 6060 973. Here's Mark. Tom, as a manager at British Steel, the government needs to get off the need to pay carbon credits to the tune of hundreds of millions to compensate for emissions. We need to get rid of foreign companies owning national assets and skimming off money and expertise and nationalise the steelworks. We should subsidise when not making profit and take money back when it is making profit. Mark, I think that's incredibly sensible. And I think this marks the big change that this end of globalisation, so-called by Keir Starmer, is going to herald, which is, in one instance, a much bigger state, a more active state in the economy, a proper industrial strategy that does have government running bits of industry that is too crucial to lose and for which there is no apparent commercial marketplace, like steel. The other thing it might have to herald, I'm afraid, and you're not going to like this either, is the net zero targets are now a bit of a luxury. I'm not sure we can afford to electrify steel production at huge expense when there is a global trade war taking place and where we really need to be able to build that steel, use that steel, make that steel in this country pretty quickly. We can't keep relying on Chinese imports of it. It's much cheaper, but it's not as good. We need to be able to do British steel and lower the cost of it sufficiently that other infrastructure providers want to be able to use it. So why we're going down the route of saying it all has to be done electric blast furnace and all that, when it's going to be much more expensive to do that, I'm not sure that's a luxury that right now, at this moment in our nation's lifetime, I'm not sure that's a luxury we can afford. I'm on board with it. I think it's a great thing. We've got to go for wind power. Got to do the grid. Absolutely, completely agree. But in this area of carbon emissions, I don't think we can afford to do it. Same with the car productions. It is completely insane to fine car producers at this moment for not producing enough electric vehicles to meet the government mandated target. Why? It won't make a blind bit of difference to carbon emissions in the atmosphere globally. We're 0.1% anyway, or less than 1% anyway. And think of all the jobs that disappear if the car companies are fined £12,000 per vehicle for not meeting that mandate when the car companies say there's no marketplace for it. 03456060 Charlie's in Gould. Charlie.
Hey, Tom, how you doing, matey?
Fine, thank you, sir. Your thoughts?
We can't abandon net zero, mate. I know what you're saying. It does bugger up how much things are worth. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, we need carbon capture. We need to get this carbon capture from steel because it's very pervasive. There's loads of it. I think it's a ton per ton, isn't it?
I don't know. All I know is there are eyebrows raised at the technology involved in carbon capture. There's a huge amount of money going into it. I think it's 25 billion over 5 years or 20 billion over 5 years. Massive amount of money.
I know that Ed put 10 in. Ed put 10 in the other day.
He put 10 in the other day, but it's going to be, I think, at least 20 over the next 5 years. And Charlie, the reality is that I'm not saying that we do away with net zero totally. I think there are areas that would benefit from this and jobs that can be created by it. But right now, in the production of steel, we can't make it more expensive to use British steel when we're in a trade war.
Yeah, that's true. What can we do? Just just hold off for a bit, do you think?
Yeah, I think we have to take a thoroughly pragmatic approach, which is to say, yep, one day we'll get round to this and it will be absolutely glorious, but we need a steel industry there to make net zero in the first place, and at the moment we're not going to have one by the end of the week.
Yep. You know, the other day you said about the bank being independent.
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes.
I sent you some stuff on WhatsApp that says there's a provision in the agreement that says, yes, the government can tell the bank what to do.
Well, I hope Rachel Reeves makes the most of it. Charlie, thank you very much indeed. This is the same Chancellor, by the way, that I think is not quite in step with the whole Buy British thing, who was telling the Commons the other day that people will make their own decisions, that we still need to be open and trading to the world. I don't know that the message has reached Rachel Reeves that apparently globalisation is over, according to her boss. 03456060973. Neil, I'll come to your call in just a moment. 5:27 the time.